Hello, everyone. It's Seth. All right, much brew about nothing time. Playing some more double moonwalkers in standard or modern, rather. Yeah, this hand's pretty good. Birds into Oath into Nissa, something along those lines. Yeah, let's just Stomping Grounds, untapped, and Birds of Paradise. Pass the turn. Noble Hierarch for our opponent. Could be Infect, maybe. Ooh, Elspeth? Alright. Oath of Nissa. We'll just take a Noble Hierarch. Play Noble Hierarch. Wooded Foothills. Pass the turn. Lotus Cobra in a land. I don't know what this is. Mono Green Eldrazi? Mono Green Summoning Trap? That is 2 Lotus Cobras, though. Potential for a lot of mana next turn. Well, we get a Wooded Foothills. If we... I think we need a Temple Garden. If we draw a land, I think we just Doubling Season Xenagos. Exile top 7. You may put any number of creatures and or lands among them on the battlefield. In that case, maybe we just play Nahiri. I would have liked to just Doubling Season into Nahiri. But will Nahiri... I'm tempted to just kill the Hierarch, actually. Yeah, let's take it up. Discard an Elspeth. Ooh, Nykthos is sweet. Well, could be sweet in the future. It does give us... it does mean in 2 turns we can just win with Emrakul. Assuming nothing crazy happens. So our opponent's going to have 6 mana, which could mean Primeval Titan. But as long as we don't die, we can just Doubling Season into Nahiri. Ultimate Nahiri into Emrakul. A card I've never seen before. Whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, each of that player's opponents may draw a card. That's actually kind of good against our deck. We have many non-creature spells, mostly planeswalkers. Opponent attacks Nahiri. Down to 2. We draw another Oath. Alright, let's... get rid of a Lotus Cobra. Doubling Season. Opponent gets to draw off of Heartwood Storyteller. Of all things. Pass the turn. And then our opponent's got to do something pretty good to not get Emrakul next turn. Vengevine is not pretty good. I mean, it's fine. They hit us for a bunch of damage. But we Ultimate Nahiri. I was thinking of playing Xenagos and ultimating Xenagos and hoping we hit enough lands for Nahiri, but that seems risky now. Birds of Paradise. Well, we can Oath of Nissa first. Opponent draws a card. Keep an Oath. Get... yeah. I guess just Windswept Heath is fine. Play Windswept Heath. Crack Windswept Heath. Get a Forest. Nahiri off of our Nykthos thanks to Oath of Nissa. Try to figure out how to pay for it. There we go, Moto. So Nahiri doubles counters thanks to Doubling Season. Ultimates immediately. Emrakul, swing with Emrakul, and that should do it. Even get an Exalted trigger. In case Emrakul needed to deal 16 instead of 15. Our opponent gets to keep some stuff, but we get to keep chump blockers. So we actually don't literally just win here. Because the Finks will come back from the graveyard. They could, like, sack down to one land, keep a Vengevine, maybe? Opponent's trying to figure out what to sack. Gets back the Finks. So they keep 2 mana around. Maybe they're hoping to get the Vengevine back by casting 2 creatures. Alright, we get the Emrakul back to our hand. Plays a Finks. I think we can take the hit for now. Take 3. Down to 2. Ooh, Gideon is also sweet. So, Nykthos. Gideon comes in with 12 counters. Goes up to 14 counters. And then we'll just play a birds off the birds. Pass the turn. So now our opponent's got to start attacking Gideon unless they have a way of actually killing the Gideon. Vengevine. Well, they got to swing everything at Gideon, so it doesn't especially matter. We can just take it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, it does hit our Gideon a lot, but we can start playing more Gideons. Well, let's Xenagos. Make a couple of satyrs. Tick up our Gideon. Are we getting close to ultimating? And by ultimating, I mean casting a Emrakul. 5 mana from Xenagos. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Down to 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I actually think we can just hardcast Emrakul next turn with 5 lands. Alright, our opponent... Oh, if this is true, that is insane. I could be miscounting, but I think we can. So our opponent's going to kill our Gideon. This is an interesting mono-green list. One thing I did not expect from this deck was the ability to hardcast an Emrakul. Our opponent... I still want to make a video of people trying to learn how to attack with a Gideon on the battlefield. One of my favorite things on Magic Online. So many people struggle with the concept of everything has to attack Gideon. It seems pretty simple. Arbor Elf. Alright, so that's actually good. That adds an extra mana. So play Arbor Elf. Let's see. Nykthos is worth 7. 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we got it. We are going to just hardcast this Emrakul. We actually have more mana than we need. 16 mana, only 4 lands. There's another Emrakul. Can't be countered, extra turn. So we pass the turn. And then we'll just attack with our Emrakul for the win. No reason to prolong it and rub it in. So opponent has to sack things, but they don't have anything with flying. So they're going to get hit for 16. Even though they can gain 2 from Finks, that still doesn't really do enough. Or 4 from Finks. They had 2 Finkses. Oh, they removed a counter from one with the Guild Mage? Is that what happened? They don't even have... Oh, they have a high arc. Okay. Well, we win. By hardcasting Emrakul, probably the least likely way to win with this deck, actually. So we do not want Blood Moons. Blood Moons are pretty bad here. Worships could be good. And maybe Fog? What else do we go down? Probably just a Mana Dork. Actually, let's keep the birds and go down in Arbor Elf. And try it like that. The good old Zero Lander. Hey, this hand's super slow. We need some of our endless Mana Dorks. Forest for our opponent. And passes. If we draw just like Mana Dork into land, this hand gets much better. Tap land, go. What is this thing? Tajuru Preserver. It is the natural foil to Emrakul. Spells and abilities that your opponent controls can't cause you to sacrifice permanents. This card would literally printed in Rise of the Eldrazi as a hoser for Eldrazi. Oh man. This is like mono green Hatebears. That is so weird. And we got a really slow hand. Well, there's a birds. So we play Nissa, we make a token, they have a Vengevine or something. Let's just play the birds and pass the turn. Be nice to start making our planeswalkers with fog mana available. Is it Vengevine time from our opponent? Another... so much card drawing. Opponent gets in 4-4, down to 14. Well, I guess we're going to let our opponent draw some cards. Oath of Nissa draws our opponent 2 cards. We get no lands. Well, I guess we take Emrakul. No lands and no Mana Dorks either. Does that mean we just gotta pass? We play Nissa, we make a token, it draws our opponent 2 cards. Alright, I think we gotta play it still. Oy, this is very bad. Really wanted to hit a land there. Opponent gets to draw 2 more cards. We get a plant. I guess it gains us some life. If our opponent wants to kill Nissa, they're going to have to send all their attackers at Nissa. Pass the turn. Azusa lets our opponent play more lands. And a Vengevine for our opponent. Well, I'm assuming that's the end. That's the end of our Nissa. Everything at Nissa? Oh, wanted us? Alright, we'll just take it for now. I think we're actually just going to lose here. Gideon. Yeah, we don't have enough mana. The problem is we play Planeswalkers. Our opponent draws 2 cards, and then our Planeswalkers die. That's not really where we want to be. And we can't Planeswalkers with mana up. Well, let's kill the Vengevine. Pass the turn. Courser of Crewfix. Forest on top. Lotus Cobra. Whoa. How are they planning on casting these multicolor cards in this deck? Off Lotus Cobra? Well, I think we're just dead. We just haven't gotten enough mana. Opponent plays a land, adds some mana. Gains a life from the Courser of Crewfix. Zamek Guildmaid, Mage. Another land. They got the combo set up with Azusa, Lotus Cobra, and Courser. Activates Zamek Guildmage. Plays a Nylea, Goddess of the Hunt, and that is the game. Alright, let's try it again. I think that was just a rough hand, and we were on the draw. So, a combination of issues there. Alright, we get to play first. Jeez, a bit slow. Caryatid into hope we draw lands? Is that worth it? We do have our one Chandra, which is pretty good. And maybe Xenagos to help get... Alright, let's keep. We have a lot of lands in Mana Dorks. So, Wooded Foothills, go. Forest for our opponent, and Noble Hierarch. Well, let's crack Wooded Foothills, get a Temple Garden. Westville Abbey, Sylvan Caryatid. Pass the turn. So if we draw land, we get Xenagos. This is a really awkward matchup. I think our game plan is to get to Chandra and Wrath. I think that's the main way we can win. Oh, they always have the Storyteller, which is actually really good against us. Oath of Nissa. Draws our opponent a card, unfortunately. Gets us a land? Yeah, we'll take the Windswept Heath. Put the rest to the bottom. Then Windswept Heath, crack Windswept Heath. Get a Forest and Oath of Nissa. Draws our opponent another card. Everything we do draws our opponent a card, basically. We'll take Arbor Elf. Put the rest to the bottom. Play the Arbor Elf. And pass the turn. So we are super close to Chandra and Elspeth. And those seem like our trump cards in this matchup. If we can get to those, Wall of Omens draws a card. Noble Hierarch. This deck is weird. They are not playing any duels by the looks. Opponent gets in for 4 with the Storyteller. We would like one more land. Well, Birds isn't really a land, but we'll make do. Do we even want a Xenagos here? We could. We can't Fog, so what do we really get out of Xenagos? We make a 2/2. I guess that keeps Xenagos alive. Alright, we'll try it. Untap. Xenagos. Opponent draws a card. We get a Satyr. Pass the turn. Zamek Guildmage. Doing something. Preserver. With the counter. Well, our opponent's problem is we got ourselves a Chandra. Sending them both at our Xenagos. We'll just block the Honored Hierarch. See what we draw. A Birds of Paradise. Is it worth wrathing away our mana dorks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we can't Chandra and Elspeth. We could just Elspeth and wait another turn? I don't know if that's wise. Well, I guess it's fine because we have Fog. What's the worst that could happen? So we play Birds of Paradise. We tick up Xenagos. We play Elspeth. Opponent gets to draw a card. Then we make 3 tokens, which actually this gives us more mana from our Xenagos next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we could easily cast an Emrakul if we just happen to draw one. Opponent is trying to figure out what to do. White mana, blue mana. Jinara, Isura of War. Okay. Kitchen thinks. Also okay. Opponent, how do they attack? Elspeth is still pretty hard to beat. It's not as good in Modern as it was in Standard because 6 mana is a lot in Modern. But in creature matchups, Elspeth is still really good. Opponent attacks Xenagos, attacks Xenagos, attacks Xenagos. Well, let's block, 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 block. Maybe at this point we just keep waiting and don't even tick down Chandra. Another Birds. So we get to make 3 tokens. We tick up. Actually, let's just make a token. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play Birds of Paradise. Pass the turn. And now I think we're actually just going to flip Westville Abbey. That works as well. Other ways I did not expect to win. So we have... we're going to beat this mono green deck by hard casting an Emrakul and then flipping a Westville Abbey. 2 of the most unlikely ways to win with this deck. They're going to put counters on their Jinara, which still isn't going to be a flipped Westville Abbey. Ormondal, bigger than Jinara, confirmed. Even bigger than from the Vault Jinara. Maybe not the oversized Jinara, if that is actually a thing. And another Guildmage. Opponent... do they slam their creatures into Ormondal? Goes at Xenagos. Alright, I think we're just going to block with a token, then sack our tokens to flip. So, block there. And then... 1, 2, 3, 4... and 5. Sack 5 creatures. And we got an Ormondal. Transform. Stomping Grounds. Well, let's make some soldiers. Let's take up Xenagos to play Chandra. Play Chandra. Opponent gets to draw a card. I guess now we can just... Oh, I should have made the tokens after. Yeah, that's alright. Let's just make elementals. And do some attacking. Blocks with the Finks. Blocks with Janara. Doesn't block with Janara. Does block with Janara. Alright. Well, we hit our opponent for 7. We gain 7. Their Finks dies. They get the Finks back. We're going to hold our Stomping Grounds because we might actually want to discard it to Chandra. I would have already zeroed Chandra, but I don't want to discard this Fog. Fog is kind of like our get out of jail free card. Since this deck is all creatures, it's our opponent can cast Craterhoof Behemoth, and we still don't lose card, really. That would be the kind of card that would beat us here. Overrun, Craterhoof Behemoth. Not necessarily Nylea, although Nylea would still be good. Vengevine, sure. And opponent's last card is another Vengevine. See how they attack. We're actually to Emblem Elspeth point of the game as well. Goes after Elspeth. Chandra, Xenagos, Elspeth. I think we just chump with everything, actually. Just chump with everything, and then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well, let's see. We want to keep Xenagos is being targeted. Elspeth, Xenagos, Chandra, us? That one's going after us? Alright, well, we're going to block the ones that are going after Chandra. And I don't really care about Xenagos. Chandra and Elspeth, I think. So this one's going to hit us. This hits Xenagos. This hits Xenagos. This hits Xenagos. Alright, that's fine. Because then we just ultimate Elspeth and win. So, Emblem Elspeth. Pump up Chandra. Everything has flying, getting +2/+2. And that should do it. So, a hard-cast Emrakul win and a flipped Ormondal win. This deck is certainly crazy. This was an odd matchup, although Heartwood Storyteller was super good. I'm kind of interested in that card now. Although it dies to Bolt, I think is a big problem. Heartwood Storyteller probably isn't that good in most matchups because it would just die, but it was good in this matchup because we don't have any interaction and they just draw a card whenever we play a Planeswalker.